might make him the most transparent wrestler alive. John Cena actually posted when he went to visit his hair clinic checkup. I guess it's been about a year since he had hair restoration done. That seems like something that happens in Hollywood all the time, but people usually keep it hush hush. Not John Cena. He posted a picture with the doc and said another great visit to Anderson Center for Hair. Been about 1 year since Ken Anderson operated, and what a transformation it's been. Got to take care of his work so I can stay up with my maintenance. Eric, you know a thing or two about a great head of hair in wrestling, but how rare is it that you see someone come out and say, "Oh yeah, I'm doing maintenance on this"? That feels like something nobody talks about. Good on John.
I think John is rare in a number of ways, and I think the level of comfort that John has with who John Cena is, I admire him. It's not like, I mean, it seems silly. Like, well, why is it such a big deal to admit that you're having your hair done or you're having hair transplants? People are vain. People don't, it's not, I mean, across the culture, right? It's just not something you go brag about when you have work done to try to improve your looks. And I think only people that are really confident in themselves, I mean, truly, honestly confident in themselves, have, there are those people are perfectly comfortable talking about things like that. And to me, that says a lot about John and who John is and where John is at this stage of his life. And if you follow John on social media, I go back and forth with John occasionally. So I pay attention to what he's got going on in his life, not just inside the ring, but outside of the ring. I'm happy for the success that he's had in the feature film world. I see a lot of commercial work. I'm just, proud to say that he's a friend and I know him and watch him grow. But over the years, he really opens up on social media as well. I mean, he's not your typical celebrity. Let's put it that way. He's very, very transparent.
I totally agree. Hey, I want to get your take on something else because I'll admit I had not considered it this way. Ethan Page, who has some gold down there in NXT, has recently talked about the term main roster. He really wants to abolish that term. Here's what he says, Eric. I want to abolish the phrase main roster. I think it's demeaning. It spits in the face of what I personally have and continue to accomplish in NXT. I believe that when one of these other promotions, Raw or SmackDown, goes out of their way because they need me to come steal me from Shawn Michaels, that will be a lateral move for me career-wise because I'm already a main attraction. I don't think there is a level up. Right now, Shawn Michaels is has the best wrestler in the WWE on his roster. I just play for a specific team. I'm not in the B League. I play for a different team in the NFL, MLB, NHL. I win a lot for my team. I will end up being traded, I'm sure, but for me, it will be a lateral move. I think that's kind of cool. I mean, listen, let's be honest. NXT is competing, more than competing, with every other promotion in the world, whether it's TNA or it's AEW or GCW or New Japan or you name it. So if we really are trying to do a brand split where Raw is one thing and SmackDown is another, this is what he's supposed to say. And maybe you could make the assessment that Raw and SmackDown are like the Yankees or the Red Sox, but I kind of dig what he's saying. Maybe we should stop referring to it as developmental. It's on TV, so how developmental is it really, right?
Very interesting.
Yeah.
I have to agree. I have to agree with him and you. I think, first of all, I think from a roster members perspective, someone who's relatively new to the industry and has obviously a potentially great career ahead of him, you want to have a healthy attitude that allows you to keep pressure on yourself and not be satisfied. But at the same time, maintain a sense of reality. But I think for this young man to look at what he's accomplished and where he's accomplished it, and just acknowledging the evolution, the growth, frankly, of NXT, which when it started out, it really was predominantly the idea was a training facility with enhanced opportunities to get in front of cameras and things like that. Well, it grew and grew and grew and now has its own show on a major network. So I do see that point. It is really a lateral move. But at the same time, you're always going to have that Yeah, but Raw, SmackDown, and really Raw, just because of legacy, even to this day. SmackDown is, may get a bigger number, Raw may get a bigger. I don't even care about the numbers anymore. Just my relationship, the way I feel about the brands, which the way I feel has nothing to do with logic, by the way, which is the problem most people have in this country. Feelings have nothing to do with what actually makes sense sometimes. But I feel like Raw is still the king. Like, not that there's anything wrong with SmackDown. Money's the same. That's the important part. But there's just a feeling about Raw. But I tend to agree. I think that's a great way to look at it. And I think it reflects reality. It's the nature of where we're at.
I totally agree. I mean, let's be real. The Performance Center is where developmental happens. And so the people who are truly in developmental, they're not on TV. They're not doing PLEs. They don't have action figures. They don't wear title belts. It's a totally different thing. Developmental means that it's not national. I mean, there's never been a promotion that was deemed developmental that had national television ever before. So good on Ethan Page for pointing this out. I hope this becomes the new norm. Hey everybody. So by now you've heard me bragging about saving people money at savewithconrad.com for years, but I thought, you know what? Don't take my word for it. Let's ask someone who really did save with Conrad. Let's welcome in Tyrus. Tyrus, what's going on, man? How are you?
I'm good, Conrad. How about yourself?
Man, I'm delighted to talk to you. I got to ask, what made you come to Save with Conrad originally?
Well, first, I'm a return shopper, if you will. I was listening to the podcast years ago now with you and Bruce, and I just figured we were in the mode for a refinance, and I heard you guys save money, so I called you guys, got hooked up with Jimmy way back then, and that's really how the ball started to roll.
So initially you were interested in lowering your monthly payments, or did you want to knock out some credit card debt, or what was your goal the first time you went to savewithconrad.com?
It was mostly just to get the lower rate, but there's a little bit of credit card debt in there too, so we rolled that all up.
And you got a cheaper monthly payment on the other side of that?
Yeah, yep. And with this time that I used, it saved me quite a bit a month, yeah.
So let's talk about what brought you back to Save with Conrad. First of all, thank you for using us not once, but twice. I appreciate that. But that was your needs back then. When was that? Was that 2020 that you did that before?
Yeah, it was around that, maybe 2019, somewhere around that.
Okay. So now a few years later, your needs have changed. What prompted you to go to savewithconrad.com this time?
Well, we were looking to refinance once again because we bought during the high rate time. And we had, a little bit of credit card debt, and we thought, why not hit that refinance button? And originally, we were thinking, why not just go through the national brand that was servicing our loan? I called one of them over there, and he crunched the numbers, and he said, no can do. Sorry. And then I thought, I'll just stay with Conrad again. And I called, and the delightful Frances answered, and you know her.
Oh, yeah.
And the first thing after I told her what the national brand said, she just said, are they stupid? We can save you money. And she got the ball rolling. I worked with the OG Larry and saving $425 a month.
All right. I love to hear that, man. $425 a month. I love that, dude. Congratulations.
Yeah, thank you.
If you had someone who was on the fence, because I know that there's a lot of people who just know me as the wrestling podcaster, but if you had someone who listens to my pods and they're on the fence about whether or not this is a real service and can he really do this? I mean, what would you say to that?
Absolutely do it. It worked for me multiple times, from Jimmy way back when to Francis and Larry. Just the whole team. They just had nothing but great things to say. They're easy to work with. They worked well with the inspectors and everything like that. It's just a great experience, and I would recommend it to anybody.
Well, I'm glad that we were able to help save you some money, and I would be delighted if we could help save you and your family some money. Do what Tyrus did. Go right now to savewithconrad.com. You can talk to a live person, get a quick quote, or just drop us an email directly at conrad@savewithconrad.com. And of course, we can still do it the old school way. Give us a call toll free at 888-425-0105. Thanks for all the time today, Tyrus. I really appreciate it.
Thank you, Conrad.
NMLS number 2129, equal housing lender. SaveWithConrad.com.